What's going on, everybody? It's your boy GemMint.
And it's your girl, Fee.
And I had to pick up this statue for Fee. When I saw PCS drop a 1/3 scale Aeon Flux, it blew my mind.
I didn't have to see it. I said, get it.
Fee is a big fan of Aeon Flux. I grew up watching it too. What was it? MTV Liquid Television?
Something like that.
You had MTV Oddities with The Head, with Max, and you had Aeon Flux, which was like a Western anime. Wasn't it the same guy who did the Rugrats cartoon?
Yeah, Peter Chung, I'm sure who it is.
He liked Rugrats, but he was kind of sick of doing that and wanted to do his own thing, and this is what he hit us with.
I love it.
So we're gonna do an unboxing and review of this statue. We got it for Fee, so I hope that you enjoy it.
I love it. Let's see it.
All right, we got the styrofoam out of the box. Let's remove those straps. This box does have 2 layers, so let's take the top lid off first. And there we have all the pieces. Let's remove all the plastic. We got the body, pieces of the base. We got an arm with a gun, and we got that portrait.
I like how her skin's shining a little bit here.
All right, let's take a look at that large piece of base. This is the piece that Aeon is gonna actually key into. It's got like a Statue of Liberty type of color to it. Maybe some oxidization happened here. Has a couple of different pegs, so this is where she'll key into. And then moving toward the bottom is where it'll key into the base. Look how big this thing is. Onto the second beam. This one has even more texturing to it, as you can see. I like that kind of weathered look that it has. It's very realistic.
It's got a great patina.
And that piece actually extends the very large piece that we've already seen. Look at those kind of like bolts they have at the bottom here. And then we have Aeon's arm. So there's no switch outs, but it doesn't come together, probably to avoid breakage. You see her handgun there. It's looking like the ultimate nullifier. Man, great job recreating that from the animation. And then onto the portrait. So, I mean, I think they nailed the hairdo, but it's kind of hard to translate the awkward animation into a 3D sculpture.
Absolutely, because it looks like Aeon Flux, but is it Aeon Flux?
Yeah, and that might have been a conscious choice by PCS because it's a statue. You can't really get away with as much imperfections as you can with animation. I mean, you know it's her right away. And then onto the body. I love how they did the color on the purple. It has this like metallic shine to it. You've got this zipper, the straps going down her belly into the bottom half here.
They definitely filled her out a little bit more, which I like. I think she might have looked sickly if they had made her as thin in the cartoon in statue form.
Yeah, very gangly looking in the animation, but I feel like the sculpt is incredible here. I mean, the way that they did the anatomy, the way that they did the muscle definition.
Yes, because she is an assassin / spy.
Onto the second layer, so we have what looks like just pieces of the base here. Let's take off that plastic. You got the base itself, and you have a couple of more pillars that go horizontally across the ones that we saw earlier. So here's one of the pieces. You can see where it keys in. The second piece here. Got a great green, blue type of hue to it. I thought they did a great job sculpting like the folds of the fabric.
Yeah, her clothes are tight, but they're not skin tight. Like, she can move around in them.
And then you have this futuristic base, which is too big and heavy to just hold up under the camera. So let's get that on the table and let's start the assembly. So we're gonna do that large pillar first. Again, I like those bolts towards the bottom. It looks like it's a real structure they created here. Second piece is gonna go in right next to it. Let's go ahead and get these pieces that go across horizontally. It gives you that illusion like this was some type of cylinder that she's falling through. The piece at the top. And then if this piece wasn't big enough, it actually extends further to make this piece extremely tall. Then we have Aeon, she keys in via her hip. That stays in snug. Then we can start getting the arms placed. So her right arm with her handgun pointing forward, her left arm kind of falling up and back. And then, of course, we got the portrait. What an incredible pose for a statue. She's upside down in midair. Let's take a look at her in full. Ninja Funk is already celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and they're having a huge event at the Ninja Exchange in Carlsbad, California. Not only will there be a live signing with co-creators JPG and Steve Shuitt, but they're bringing out legendary artists Jim Lee and David Mack. But that's not all. We have special guest John Dolmayan. If you're in the area, make sure to come swing by on November 18th and 19th for the celebration. All right, everybody, and there we have it. Well, wait a minute. Fee, what do you think, man? I got this statue for you.
I love it. I think it looks great. There are a few things I could nitpick about, but there's no denying who this is when you see it.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Aeon Flux.
This is a massive piece, 40.5 inches tall. What's the diameter on this thing? It looks like it's about 15, 16 inches. and the depth is about the same. We were actually looking for Aeon Flux art to see, you know, how accurate they got this, and I think we stumbled upon the inspiration for this piece, and I gotta say, they did a good job of recreating that piece.
Right, translating that style cartoon into like an animately correct statue is a little bit of a task.
Man, and just the body itself, it feels humongous, this piece. And the fact that they've got her upside down, floating in air, and compared to that art, that didn't have like a structure that she was attached to. She was just free falling. So they created this futuristic piece that looks like it would fit perfectly within the world of Aeon Flux.
Look, Aeon Flux is an acrobat. She is nimble, agile. This perfectly portrays her skill set. She's deadly.
That's a great point. The piece, it embodies her characteristics. The fact that she is a lethal assassin, that she's very lean and nimble and contorts her body in awkward ways.
Contortionist, absolutely. That is a great adjective for her.
Yeah, and although like she was ready to tear the piece apart as far as the nitpicks, but I think they did a great balance of like, okay, let's take this weird looking Western anime and change it into something that looks like a real person, that doesn't look like a Picasso statue on someone's shelf.
Yes, Picasso, because she's very gangly.
Gangly is
very
a good word.
Long and lean in the cartoon.
They made 400 of these. It retailed $1,255. It says it's low stock over on Sideshow. You're never going to see another piece like this. I mean,
if someone was to ask me what piece would never leave, it's going to be the Aeon Flux. This isn't even going to sit down here. This is going straight upstairs.
We're going to have to put this upstairs. I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, you can take off this top layer right here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to even do it. But I think you could do that, and you would save maybe, what, 2-3 inches?
Maybe.
Her feet are still going to be the tallest point at that part. But, man, this is one of the reasons why PCS is one of my favorite companies, grabbing licenses that nobody else is doing, making spectacular pieces. I mean, the dynamic aspect of this is incredible. I'm blown away.
Nobody else has done Aeon Flux.
Man, shout out to PCS, everybody involved in this project. Let us know what you think about the 1/3 scale Aeon Flux in the comments down below. And as always,
stay minty fresh.
Peace.